Didn't I specifically ask for addressable RGB fans?
No, but I remember I told you that we don't have any right now.
So now what?
Well, we can switch to light loops. Oh, no.
Yeah, so just like everybody else, I'm watching YouTube. Yep, think it's kind of important. But I'm gonna grab my laptop. We're gonna go upstairs because we're gonna do a different video today. I think a little different. Yeah, we're gonna go up and because I'm running out of tech stuff to review. You know, I gotta. Well, things are slowing down all the time. Don't drop my laptop. Don't drop the laptop. Things are slowing down, and I don't necessarily want to be ordering a whole bunch of stuff right now to review for you guys. So I do have a bunch of stuff already here that I need to review, so those will be coming out. But I figured what we do is do a what's new in the technology world, you know, and we'll put that out to you guys. You guys can, for future ones, what you'd like to chat about. But today, I think we'll look at what's kind of happening in the world of computers and camera stuff. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, hopefully I'll put it over here so it doesn't fall off. Cool. I'm a big technology lover, I guess. I like watching what's happening in the world of technology. And the big one that happened actually just a couple days ago, which was, let's be honest, a little bit of a surprise. I guess it was a surprise. It was a surprise for me, because I don't know if I actually truly saw it coming. Number one, Apple. Apple released a whole bunch of new stuff without having a big hurrah shebang. You know, no stores are open, the retail stores are all closed, so it's all online only. And it looks like number one, they updated their MacBook Air, twice the speed, twice the storage. And if you look at it here, right, we'll do a little buy, pretend we're buying here, and I'm on the apple.com. You know, you're looking at the same kind of price points, you know, $1,000, $1,200. But look at the storage. I'm so happy that they decided not to release a MacBook at all, I think, especially the Air, with 128 gigs, because why would you have 128 gigs? So it's great to see 256, great to see at that $1,300 price point, 512, great turbo boost speeds, 8 gigs of RAM, Touch ID, cool. And it's got the new, it looks like, new Magic Keyboard. So I think they've gone away from their old butterfly keyboard, which was good. So nice to see that. That's a good one. Now the other thing, of course, which was probably the bigger splash for a lot of people, was the iPad Pro. So if we look at this, there it is. It's got this crazy new case on it. So your next computer, not a computer. Nope, magical piece of glass. And yeah, just as fast or faster than most laptops. But the cool thing is that they've really incorporated a trackpad, well, into their new case. But just having this trackpad available now, one of the limitations, and you saw a lot of people trying to figure it out, was having mouse control, which you could pair on the old ones, Bluetooth mice to them. A Bluetooth mice, just one mouse. But it really was an accessibility feature, so it really didn't work or act like an actual mouse or trackpad. But they've come up with a way to actually get this mouse trackpad functioning on an iPad, which is super cool. So you see this industry-leading color accuracy, 120 Hz ProMotion. I have to say that ProMotion, super nice, really nice. 600 nits, P3 wide color, true tone, ultra flow, reflective, awesome. And here's the other one. So now you go from not a single camera, which was on that with a flash, to a dual camera. So you are getting the ultra wide, as you can see here, which is cool. Now the one thing that is a little different is that they lowered the megapixel to the ultra wide. Now I'm not 100% sure why that camera is getting a lower megapixel rating, so 10 versus 12. A little strange, I'm not 100% sure. But here's the other cool here. I don't even know if I can pronounce it. LiDAR scanner, which is super cool. And if you look at this, there's those multiple scanners here, which allows it, and you'll see this work hugely, I think, for AR. So this is going to be the first realm into Apple's real big AR push. So being able to do full augmented reality on this is going to be all kinds of super cool stuff. Really looking forward to that. And even though I probably won't end up buying one of these new iPads, the technology is going to come out on probably the new iPhone whenever that decides to raise its head. Now the other thing too is this is the first time we see an A12Z processor. A lot of times we saw an X processor, but this is an A12Z. So again, a little different. It's faster, of course, 8-core graphics, and even the previous generation iPad Pro, and I have an iPad Air 3, super fast. So they must have done something to this to make it even a little quicker, which is very cool. Other than that, we have all our multitasking, and it'll be interesting to see what the new operating system. So supposedly, I think in the next, probably my guess would be just a day or two before this gets released, we're going to see 13.4, I believe, come out. So that'll be cool. Last but not least, there's the new keyboard and case. So very cool. Attaches magnetically, floating design. Yeah. USB-C port. That's super awesome. So we got a USB-C port right in the case itself. My guess is it's going to draw power through the keyboard connector so that you can run power through that. It's kind of neat knowing that that port has all those extra pieces on it. Backlit keyboard, full size, trackpad. Very cool. But it is pricey. It is pricey. You know, you're looking at, I think it's like $350 US for that. So be aware. So yeah, anyway, that's kind of the two things Apple kind of pushed out. Now, those may be cool and all, and you're like, yeah, we're super awesome. A little out of my budget. Now, the bonus of this is that we are seeing a lot of Apple's refurb from their previous generation, which would have been current generation as of a couple days ago, taking a big price drop. So if you're in the market for like a previous iPad Pro or a previous MacBook Air, you may be able to find those in the refurb store for a nice little drop in price. So that's super awesome. Super awesome. Next topic, shall we? Next topic. I'm a big fan of Canon cameras, and I have my cameras from when I started photography all the way back to film are always Canons. So you're looking at, you know, when I went digital, and I currently have this. I have a T2i because it was the first one that did video. I had a Canon 7D, which I loved. I currently have an M50, my first mirrorless camera, which I still shoot on occasion. The intro part was shot on that. And I have a Canon RP. Now, one of the things you will notice with those is that I don't ever get into that high budget stuff because it's a big investment and the chance of return on it isn't that high. So everybody was talking about this one, so the Canon EOS R5, which in my opinion is the R and the 5D merging together, so, which is cool. So if you look at the specs of this, 8K, and it's been verified, this is 8K, like 30 frames per second. That's awesome. 20 frames per second, shooting up to 12 frames per second with mechanical shutter, in-body image stabilization and optical image from the lens and the body, so you're gonna get super awesome. Dual card slots. Now we don't know if it's dual SD, if it's dual compact flash, we don't know what it is, but we do know it's dual because that was a big kind of hey. And as you can see here, 7 RF lenses. So stats wise, this one was the one that's been gathering kind of everybody's attention, the R5, and I get it, but my guess is this camera is going to come out somewhere between $4,000 and $6,000 would be my guess. That's for maybe even just body. I don't know. But that's my guess. It's going to be an expensive camera because these specs put it up against the 5D, but really it really starts to almost cannibalize the 1D series. So I think they're going to bring that price up. So especially that 8K, like that's a big one, right? 8K, awesome. But for me, and this was the one that's probably more important for those of us that, for one, have a little bit of a budget, which I definitely do. And 2, don't require. What am I supposed to do with 8K? It's great. What am I needing 20 frames per second for? Awesome, don't need it. What I need is super good autofocus. 4K would be nice. And I just need it to shoot photos clean, good, and that in-body stabilization would be good as well. So this is one here. So Canon EOS R6 specs have been leaked. Doesn't mean that they're necessarily official, but they've been leaked. And this is the camera that's caught my attention, EOS R6. So when we look here, this is for me the camera that I'm probably going to look at. 20 megapixel full frame sensor. So actually lower megapixel than my RP. So it actually brings down the megapixels, which is okay. I'm okay with that. 20 megapixels is still a lot, and really I'm not going to give up my RP, and I don't really feel the need to shoot much more than 20 anyway. Most of the photos that I take probably are just going on social media anyway, and if I print them, I printed 12 megapixels at 20 by 30 and they look fantastic because of viewing distance. So 20 megapixels, fine. 12 frames per second burst in mechanical, 20 frames per second burst in electronic. Yeah, especially when you look at the RP, which again, I'm a big fan of. You're looking at like 3 and 7. Like, it's slow. It is slow, and it's a weakness of the RP for sure. It's slow. This huge boost in my opinion. 4K 60p and full HD 120p. Yeah. So full 4K 60. So right now I do get 4K 24, but no dual pixel autofocus. So what we're hearing is that it'll be dual pixel autofocus across the board on everything, non-cropped is what we're hearing. That's the hope, and if it's true, yeah, because 4K on the R, huge crop on it. You got a huge crop, and it uses contrast focus, so you will see focus hunt in and out. So both the M50 and the RP shoot in a contrast 4K focusing, which is why I don't use it ever, because it's just not trustworthy. So if these are shooting 4K up to 60 with dual pixel, yeah, that's a huge win, And having full HD, so 1080p 120, another huge win. 120 frames on these, you know, you're looking at like 720p 120. Usable? Yeah, in small dosages, but again, not worth switching to. You know, if quality means anything to you, you're probably not going to use it too much. Again, if you're just going to throw something small in there, you can probably get away with it. But full HD 120. Yeah. Dual card slots. Yep. Lower electronic viewfinder than the R5. It doesn't give specs, it just says lower build quality. Yeah, I get it. It's got to low down the price. And no top-down screen. Again, just like the RP versus the R. The R had a screen on the top that you could look down on. The RP didn't have that, and that's going to be the same with the R5 through the R6, and that makes total sense. It does say, according to Canon rumors, that the R6 could be announced in May and released in June. That could all get thrown right out the window because of what's going on right now. Well, I say everything's being pushed back, but Apple didn't, right? Apple released their stuff. They just did it online. And Canon could very much do that too if all their camera gear is ready to go. I think what will play a big role in a lot of this is events. You know, if events that were supposed to come out, which Canon could have had a big push on, especially actual events that photographers would be using their gear to take pictures, if those get canceled, then Canon may hold it back possibly. If those are still going ahead, then we'll see these get released. Either way, super cool. Last one that I want to talk about today before this video gets crazy long is the console wars. I'm all over the board today. Console wars. We are seeing, so Sony and Microsoft kind of released their specs. I actually got an email yesterday, day before, I can't remember, from Microsoft, and I was like, what's this? And it was from Microsoft, right here. Oh yeah, right here. Check this out. This is the first time I've gotten something from them. Now it's really long and slender. Fastest, most powerful Xbox ever, re-engineered from the inside out. Learn more. I would love to learn more. There you go. You can go here and watch a video if you so choose. I have the address up at the top if you want. They are starting. It's funny because when the console starts to, you hear about it a little bit in the rumor mills, you're like, yeah, that's a ways away. Well, that ways away isn't that far anymore. You know, we're looking at holidays this year. So time to start saving your pennies to figure out what you want. Here's the new Xbox, of course. Xbox Series X. Very, very PC looking box for sure. re-engineered. So this thing here, if you look at it, they've went with processor power. They went with making this thing a gaming machine. They really went with, you know, how much data can they move around. And if you go through all this with your video card and the CPU and all that information, designed for speed and performance, right? This thing is going to be a killer machine. 4K right out of the box, but it says that full ability to support up to 8K gaming. So there it is, right? True 4K gaming and 8K ready. Come on. 1 terabyte, 12 teraflops of power. Yeah, this thing is going to be smoking. This is, honestly, I may look at a new console this year because I didn't buy Xbox One X or anything like that. This will probably be the one that I look at because I'm kind of in that Microsoft system already, and that just seems super awesome. All kinds of expansion slots. Yeehaw. But it's up on their site. Now, PlayStation, a little different. So PlayStation came out, I think it was, again, just a couple days ago, and I'm over on The Verge's website here. They went at it a bit different. If you look for specs, their specs are not competing for performance and power really up against the Xbox. I would say the Xbox beats it in performance and power. But they went with solid state speed. So their solid state speeds, I don't know what they're getting out of it or what kind of drives that they're using. They're like, it's fast. So they're promising, or their hopes is that with the PS5, pretty much zero load times. So once you get that game in there and it's installed and ready to go, you boot it up and off you go, like boom, off to the races. No more watching a load screen. So that's super cool. But specs are out there. Specs are out there. You guys can go look at them. Really, 2 questions for you guys, I guess. And leave comments down below if you want to, because that's always awesome for me to hear from you guys. Number 1 is looking at cameras. What cameras do you guys shoot right now? Are you looking at upgrading? Is that even something, or you're like, no, my cameras are good. I have no desire to shoot, you know, higher or faster or more resolution or whatever. And if you were going to be going to the R5 or R6, which one would you? Now, I'll throw this out there. I would love to shoot with an R5. Am I going to drop that kind of money on an R5? I don't think so, because I think the R6 will come in under 2,000 is my guess. Under 2,000 is what I'm thinking, versus probably over double that for the R5. So that's number 1. Number 2, here's the other one. In regards to Xbox and PlayStation, what do you run now? Are you a console gamer, or do you game on your computer? If you are a console gamer, which one do you run? And will you be looking at upgrading in the future? Are you going to be looking at one of these new X's or the PS5? Again, you know my thoughts. I'm probably going to lean toward the Xbox because that's kind of the ecosystem I'm involved in right now. And backward compatibility plays a big role. I don't want to have to start over again, and I've got a bajillion games for the Xbox. And if they can all be upgraded and look better and play better, and I get all the new coolness down the road, I'm all over that. There you go, guys. This is our first. What's in the news? What's in the news? What's in the tech news? What's in the camera news? I don't know. Was it good? We'll continue this. I want to make sure that I can put out videos for you guys. So I'll be doing a whole bunch of different stuff in the next coming while as we all stay a little bit more isolated. Yeah. Hopefully you and I can do some more conversing this way. All right, my friends. I'm going to leave you there. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And we will see you guys in the next video. Later, my friends.